Hello and welcome to Nonny, Yanga's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. Today we revisit the world of pageantry. However, this time we explore its benefits as a method of overcoming depression and self-esteem issues. And we look at how winners use their platform to give back. Joining me today, newly crowned Miss Nigeria UK, Temi Soyinka, and founder of the pageant, Ganiya Ali. Sorry to do it, but I've got to kind of give you a pageant wave.
I love it.
Welcome, guys. Conversations surrounding pageantry are often quite one-dimensional, focusing on looks, size and other physical attributes. Whilst pageants' negative effects on body image have been highlighted time and time again, there's no denying the positive role it plays as a tool to improve self-esteem. Previous winners and participants of Miss Nigeria UK have spoken out and praised the pageant process for helping them overcome feelings of self-doubt, anxiety and depression. What seems like a superficial competition of beauty has proven to help participants on their journey of self-development. How important is it to recognise pageants' positive effects on the women who participate? Before I get an answer for that question, Temi, I have to congratulate you. Well done.
Thank you.
I was a judge on that day and I must say you were kind of one of the favourites from the beginning.
Thank you so much.
Just talk to me about the process, how you're feeling now, have your gram followers gone up? Just tell me, just how are you?
I'm great and thank you. Gram followers have gone up, which is nice. The process was actually really good. It developed me a lot, I would definitely say that. I think I applied around about February. And obviously around July-ish.
Why? Why did you apply?
Why did I apply? Okay, so I had seen the pageant from like the beginning in 2014 when Bissy was crowned Miss Nigeria UK.
Atkins. Shout out to Bissy again.
And I was like amazed. And there was a contestant in there, Kemi, as well. And she was like a huge role model for me.
Why?
Because she was a bigger girl. Yeah. And you know, although she didn't place, I was so inspired by the fact that she had the confidence. If you see back at her videos, she had the confidence. She was strutting on the stage.
Just like you.
Just like me, eventually. But this was back in 2014.
Yeah. I
just felt like, you know, I don't have that confidence and I just felt like I couldn't do it. So I was watching the years, following the years, and then last year it didn't happen. So this year I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grab my chance. So one night, it was late, I just decided I was gonna apply and push myself because I just wanted to just prove to myself that I can do this.
And look, and now you've been crowned the winner. Ganiya, yes. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Honestly,
Thank
because I was so shocked. I'm a mum of 3 girls. We were just talking about that off camera. And I would never have known the pageant process to be so uplifting. I feel myself getting all teary now, honestly, because just listening to, you know, stories such as Temi and all the other girls that participated, just how smart they were, how brave. Because, you know, we said in the top link talking about depression and anxiety and self-esteem issues, you would just never put the two together.
You wouldn't. No.
So the fact that these girls were so brave to speak, you know, in front of such a big audience, you know, in the Queen's English, some of them with a little bit of a Niger accent, just talking about how applying has helped them so much. It's just how have you seen them grow?
I've been speaking to all of them and telling them exactly. I remember them from the casting. I remember them from the beginning, how they were. Temi, like, she was confident, but it was a reserved confidence. It was like she didn't want to be confident. It's like she was, oh, I don't think I have the right to be, kind of thing. She had that kind of persona. Like, she knows what she wants to do, but she just didn't know how to go about it. And even Doyin, who came second, she was shivering like a leaf when I met her the first time. Like, as in, she couldn't make eye contact. She looked like she wanted to cry, all these things. And then to see how she spoke on that day, I wanted to cry because I was like, wow. And it's that thing.
You were very emotional on the night.
Oh my God, I was so, because I was so proud of every single one of them, and every single one of them were worthy of being a winner. You know, some competitions you look and you're like, oh yeah, that person's clearly gonna win.
It was too close.
It was so close.
But even some of them, you know, if their music didn't play or, you know, something happened that, you know, was kind of beyond their circumstances, you're like, I can't even mark you down. Because the fact that you can still come up and, you know, show your stuff.
That's what we taught them through training. We said, things are going to go wrong. We said it to them because it's technology. Things are going to go wrong, but it's how you carry yourself when they go wrong. And that's life. It's how you carry yourself when they go wrong. And all of them did me so proud. I felt like a proud mother like that day.
And so you should.
Thank
you should. Tell me, how did you feel during that whole training and bonding with the girls? How was that process, like the Miss Nigeria UK going up to being a winner? How did you find that?
Do you know what? I've said it before. It was more like a sisterhood. You wouldn't even think that we were in a competition together, because we were always like developing each other and giving each other positive criticism as well, where we could support each other. Do you know what? It brought us together as sisters, as ladies that are all trying to overcome situations. So I think that made the process even better. And something that was easier to kind of go through.
Can you tell us a bit about your story? Because you actually, was it the talent part of the competition where you showed a video?
Yes.
And I was shocked by it, because you had no makeup on.
Yes.
And you were bold in doing it. And you did speak about self-esteem issues. Can you tell us about some of those issues that you've been able to overcome?
Okay, so when I entered, my issues were more like my weight. So I knew that was something I was self-conscious about. And when I would have conversations with other ladies about it, people would give me reasons why they would not be able to do it. So, oh, do you know what? I could not do that because I'm too big, or I'm too dark, or I'm too short, I'm too tall, it's just not gonna work. And I just realized there's issues that all of us have, especially as young ladies, that we are all battling, and we're using it as excuses or barriers for reasons why we can't do certain things. So that little documentary or short film that I did, it was more things that I wanted to target and have each young individual in the audience think about and consider, is this something that I'm holding, using to stop me from moving forward. So I wanted people to think, basically, and just stop with the excuses.
We definitely thought that you won. That video was a good winner.
Thank you.
But Ganiat, with listening to all this stuff and, it's hearing me, so I'm tearing up, why do you think there is still negative connotations? I wouldn't say negative, but kind of like, blah, meh. Pageants are a little bit meh, nothing to it. Why do you think that is?
Think it's, like we mentioned on the previous show when I came, it's us that need to change the narrative. It's us as the pageant, producers that need to change the narrative. If we're forever putting the same type of people through and having the same type of winners, it's going to have the same type of connotations. So a lot of people that came to the show, and even one of the performers, he came and he was like, I did not expect this at all. And so it's to change the narrative. The only reason I did a pageant was because it's what I knew. It's not because...
Tell us about that, Ganiat, because I see, girl, you snatched it up today, boy. Tried to come as the winner today. You look good.
Thank you.
And you always look good.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey, because you are behind the scenes, but, you do have a big story.
I've been behind the scenes for a long time, and the show actually came from a point of depression for me, where I'd almost lost a family member and I didn't know how to handle it, and I didn't really have anybody there for me. One person who I thought was my friend at the time really showed himself, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, so it really put me in a bad place. And because I'd helped out so many events and so many pageants before, and I actually wanted to enter one in uni, but I just wasn't brave enough. I had the application form, I started filling it out, and then it mentioned, why do you want to enter? And I couldn't answer the question. Why do you feel like you could win? And I couldn't answer the question because I didn't believe. Enough. I didn't believe in myself. So I didn't enter. And one thing I knew is, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it so that I can uplift anyone who does enter, and anyone who does feel like they can't do it. Anyone that comes to me and says, oh no, I could never enter this. That's the one. It's like,
you must enter.
Literally that, it flips the script for me, and I'm just like, why can't you enter? No, but have you thought about, and because we are worthy to do things like this. We are worthy to be out there and be in the limelight. And I used to always be in the background. I never used to be in the forefront. I never used to be that. Even speaking in front of people, I had anxiety. I couldn't do it. So for me, it's brought me out, and it's allowed me to
And you've been
shine.
able to lift other girls up the ladder, isn't it? Which is so important. The parents were so proud, weren't they? Your mum.
Yes.
I saw her. And your godmother. She always pushed me off the stage. I said, where are you? She said, that's my god. I said, step inside. I'm telling you. She must be so proud of you, your mum.
She's so proud. And I know, because when I first entered, I think she was a bit skeptical as well. And to see the growth over time. So at the end of it, she was like, yes, I'm so proud of you. So yeah, it was really nice to see that.
Do you think, Gania, it could have been hard for some mothers? You know, I was watching some of those, listening to some of the girls talking, and honest, don't care if Mumsy don't like me saying this, but this is something I've been battling with. This is something you failed to ignore. And I'm not talking about your mother here, but I'm talking about some of the contestants. Do you think it could have been quite hard for them to listen to what they've maybe, you know, kind of denied or shunned is happening to their daughters?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things is my mum, when she first found out why I started doing the show, I think there was an article and she's like, I didn't know you were depressed. And I was like, well, I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't know how to speak to you. Not because me and my mum are close, but it's just something you just don't know how. And
especially
you know,
Africans,
they don't really get. It's like, you know, go and pray, and it's like, well.
I will pray, but
I'll pray, but
we live in this world.
Yeah. What can I do practically to get over? And I've been very self-driven and self-motivated. So my mum was shocked. So I can imagine what the mothers
We're
were
going
like.
to the break, but what's the next step, Gania? I almost feel like you have a responsibility because I was like,
Honestly,
this is more than this.
Yeah, it is.
This is more than this.
It's been more than this. And my thing is now, because one of the contestants, she works in mental health and she has been for the past 8 years. So I said, okay, we're going to go into schools and we're going to start training from young. We're going to start looking at how we can spot the signs from a young age.
It doesn't mean if you're pretty or beautiful or people think you are, if you're not feeling that inside, because you're beautiful, as in, that body I wanted to. I'm telling you. But of course, if you don't feel it within yourself, then it's not going to show on the outside, is it? Still to come, we continue our discussion and look at the responsibility a beauty queen has to give back to the community. See you after the break. Welcome back. Community service is valued very highly in the pageant world, and after winning the title, beauty queens are given a platform to start projects and foundations for causes they are most passionate about, from helping and supporting in developing countries to raising awareness of different issues embedded within societies. The expectation is that winners will use their platform for something bigger than just personal gain. How important is it for pageant winners to give back? Now, I was kind of urging you, Gania, that you must do something. Help all these young girls. But no, on a serious note, because obviously you can't do everything. But it is important to use the title and the crown and the responsibility that's been given onto you to do something good, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think there are influencers out there, but what exactly are you influencing? And for somebody who has overcome, for me, I overcame, so then now I'm giving back so others can overcome. And I think that's the same cycle that it needs to be throughout. And just because you didn't win doesn't mean you don't continue to help people to overcome. So it's it's the pageant winner, but also those that were involved, they all overcame.
Is that part of the process? So, you know, when you're training these girls and when you're interviewing them, seeing if they can even be in that top final, do you ask about what they want to do with the community, or is that something quite late in the day?
So in previous years, we've had people that have had a passion, but we didn't know about it until later, so it wasn't easy to work on. So this year, we decided to put it in the application. So we asked everybody, what is a business or project that you want to do? And then I had a one-to-one with all of the applicants after the casting. So I sat down with all of them one-to-one and I said, okay, what is it you want to do? And then I took note of how we could possibly help them. And then we're going to obviously work with them on getting a mentor and all these different things. So
because it's not that easy, is it, Temi? You know, which I'm sure you're going to realise soon. It is easy, you can do it, I'm not discouraging you, but it's not as easy as it may seem. What kind of projects and issues are you going to be working on with this title?
So I wanted to focus on, number one, giving back to my Nigerian community. So I travel to Nigeria regularly, and one of the things that
lucky girl.
one of the things that I noticed and really touched me was the unemployment issues, because I have a lot of drivers in Nigeria. Uber is popular in Nigeria, and I would get in the back of an Uber and be talking to someone who was very bright, and in talking to them you find out they have a master's degree in something like engineering, only to find out there's no employment or they're not getting paid, so they have to work as Uber drivers. And it really touched me, and I wanted to be able to just find a way to work around that as well. And also to kind of give confidence to young ladies around me. I just wanted to give them the tools to kind of go out. I just don't want ladies to have an excuse for why they can't do something.
Yes.
So I wanted to work on doing that with my makeup line as well. And just
Did you bring some for me?
I actually brought some.
Good.
I actually did.
Okay.
So, you know, I just want to be able to give these people...
You want to give back,
exactly.
don't you? How do you think the crown and this title will help you do that?
Well, what Gani said was correct. One of the first thing they did when I did the application was write down exactly what I wanted to be able to achieve. And in that one-to-one, I was able to find that, you know, they will be able to provide me with the connections in order to be able to start an internship scheme for young graduates out there. So it's about communicating, working with the right sort of organisations, which definitely...
Gani is connected,
Yeah,
because, girl,
exactly.
your previous winners, they have scaled the heights, haven't they?
Yes.
Yes, so the connections to be able to go out and work with some of these big organisations, and with the help of Gani and the team, that is going to definitely happen.
Does that worry you a little bit? Are you nervous?
Do you know what? If you had asked me at the beginning of the process, I would have said, yes, I'm nervous. Yeah. But now, seeing how far I've come and the support that they've given me, Gani's like, I've spoken to her pretty much every day.
She will hold you on a leash for 1 year. Even now, she's got that leash.
Exactly. She's holding the leash
spiritual
tight.
leash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't say I'm nervous when I've got such a supportive team behind me. So I'm more excited and ready to go out and start the work.
No, that's great. And you literally, if you look at Bissy, you know, and Hannah, there are
Yeah.
so many others that are doing so well. Even as you said,
some of them
not even
winners,
not even the winners, but those who've just been able to use that platform.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel, Gani, that it can be too much responsibility? You know, listen to Temi there and talking about the Uber drivers and unemployment in Nigeria. Can the government even solve that?
I think it has to start from somewhere.
Yes.
So it's not an overnight solution.
Yeah.
She will always be a beauty queen. She will always be a queen. She will always hold the crown.
Aww.
And Bissy's always been a queen. She's still referred to as Miss Nigeria. So the title will always be there, which means moving forward, you know, that's where it will still carry that weight. So if, you know, someone has come so young and said, you know what, I've seen a problem, things need to change, the old generation need to look and be like, okay, what's the problem? How can we help that change? And over the years, then as the brand gets bigger, then we can be still supporting our first, second, third, fourth queens.
Yes. Don't want to move too far to the left because my producer will be wiggling in my ear. But, you know, we did speak before, I think it was in a previous season about Black Boy Joy and the fact that you've got people like Chance the Rapper, he's always smiling, and Drake, who's a bit softer, you know, trying to set in the trend for these. But maybe some guys are just too shy.
I think it's the narrative. They don't know what a pageant is.
It's the stigma behind it, right?
There's a stigma, so they just think, oh, that's for women.
What are we going to do to get them to force them into applying?
To be honest, the brand needs to just grow. Once the brand grows and it gets the awareness.
It's not easy, is it?
Yeah, once it grows and it gets the awareness and people then see, because for you to say that, a lot of people have said it to me, that the guys are like, what happened to Mr.? And I'm like, well, ask the misters.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because I'm a woman, it's very difficult for me to go to a man and say, you should enter.
Yes.
So they need a man, and unfortunately our last winner had to go back to Nigeria. Now he's studying in Canada, so he wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah, so he wasn't
even
able
he's
to-
international.
Yeah,
I see the anointing on this competition. I receive it.
So we need a man who is going to take the crown and do what the women have been doing. And I think a lot of them entered to build their confidence, but maybe to get popular. And we need to change that narrative. But I think let's do this one.
Yeah,
and
let's
then,
build the brand
exactly.
and help. I kind of feel, you know, we're going to be wrapping up shortly, but I kind of feel as, you know, a mother of 3 young girls, I just wish that there was more emphasis on young girls, like you were talking about with the schools, speaking to them. It's not just because your mummy tells you you're pretty, or people think, oh yeah, she's pretty, she's got nice hair, or she's got a big bum. You know, that makes them feel like they're pretty. They need the self-esteem from within, don't they? A lot needs to be done within schools and with young girls, surely, Gani.
I think schools are very difficult. They have an agenda. A lot of them are, you know, target driven now. It's not really about. I was speaking to a teacher, and it's all about the grades, the grades, the grades. We need, you know, Ofsted need to come and say we're a good
Exams.
school. Exactly. So, but then you're not helping the kids with their exams. These kids are going through anxiety at the age of 15. Why? How? So maybe, I don't know if there's a way to kind of bypass the school and create, our own kind of organisation that young school kids can come to outside of the school environment, that they can come to and feel free and feel like they can do something different.
It's definitely something we as, Black sisters in the community, we are all responsible for, aren't we? Temi, lastly to you, what advice would you give to anyone watching, people like me, that might want to enter? I'm joking, I would never enter. But what advice would you give to somebody that's like, could I do it? But no, I can't.
I would definitely say it's not a question of whether you can or cannot do it. It's just go for it, get out of your comfort zone and just try and develop yourself. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anyone hold you back as well. Because there will be people that will say that you cannot do it or you won't be able to make it. But just go out there and do it and trust that it's going to make you a better person and a better individual.
Wow, and it definitely has to you. You're testament to that, aren't you? Well, that's it from me, Juliana Olayinka, and my fantastic guests today, Temi Soyinka and Ganiya Ali. Don't forget, guys, Nonny is now online wherever you are in the world. Go to www.yangatv.com. Check out every single episode. Join me next time for more Nonny Chat. Goodbye.